guys, it's Tiffany again. Welcome back to my channel if you've seen my previous video. If not, welcome in general. Today I want to talk about pendulum divination. Pendulum divination is an extremely old way of finding some answers to your questions. A pendulum is a tool. In my case, it is an amethyst crystal attached to the end of a chain with another little piece of amethyst here. But there are many different kinds. It's relatively simple to make one even. All you need is a symmetrical weighted object attached to a string, and it is important that it's weighted. It is also important that it's symmetrical because you don't want any wiggle room for doubt in your answering. Actually, a popular, I don't think people necessarily know this, or not a lot of people know this. If you've been to a baby shower and someone ties a ring to the end of string and hangs it over the pregnant woman's belly, and if it spins counterclockwise, it's this, and if it spins clockwise, the baby's going to be this, that's pendulum divination. You're using a pendulum for a yes or no, essentially, question. So yeah, that's something relatively common, at least in the United States where I am in Michigan. Something else that I think people don't know about pendulums is it's not necessarily used for communing with the spirit world. It can be used that way. You can ask for guidance from your spirits or angels or whatever it is you believe in. But with that, you always want to be careful that you don't invite something dark in on accident, or even just allow something dark to masquerade as a guide or an angel. So you always want to set yourself up in the safest way possible, and maybe I'll make a video talking about ways to safely do that. But a pendulum essentially can just be a way of you kind of tapping into your subconscious mind, your own psychic abilities that you're not necessarily aware that you have, but that I think most people possess to some level of, intuition, your gut feeling. I think a lot of us have that, but a lot of us are just unaware of what it is. So yeah. So anyway, my pendulum, amethyst, a chain, simple. You can find them for $15-ish US online. I prefer crystals. I don't necessarily think I would want to use a metal pendulum just because I think you can connect with the crystal. It has its own energy, its own properties. So I personally like that aspect of things. One more thing that you do, no matter what material your pendulum is made from, you want to cleanse and consecrate it before you use it, removing any previous energy in case anyone else has touched it, or just any vibes stored within the crystal, metal, whatever it may be. Some ways of doing that, pretty standard. To cleanse it, you can just burn some sage incense and wave the smoke over the pendulum. You can also, if it's crystal, please do some research before submerging in any kind of running water. Some crystals should not be put in water ever. So do your research on that, please. But if that specific crystal is okay, you can run it through some water. You can also just let it lie in the sun. The sun is cleansing. And then to consecrate it, you can anoint it with your favorite anointing oil, which I will talk about in a later video as well. Just hold it in your hands, hold it to your chest, hold it to your third eye area, whatever feels good to you, and just push all of your good energy, your good thoughts, your happiness into your pendulum and charge it with that good energy. You can also place it with crystals, whether it's crystal or not, place it with positively charged crystals. So how do you use a pendulum? Well, it can be really simple or it can be more complicated. The most simple, yes or no questions. You make up a pendulum board like I have, let me find it. Well, I thought it was right there. Okay, yes. Like I have here. And in this one, the top and bottom are yes. Vertical, horizontal is no, and then diagonal is maybe. I'll insert a clip of me using my board or showing how to use a simple board like that. That's what I prefer. I don't love the more complicated ones because I tend to want to use it for just very simple questions. You can also use it for dream interpretation. You make a board like I just showed. You ask questions like, was the person in my dream meant to represent my fear? Was it meant to represent my spouse or my mother or my whoever? And you ask those questions like that and see if you get a yes or a no. And it can help you interpret your dream and maybe learn what issues you need to address in order to live more happily, sleep more peacefully, all of those things. It can also be used for healing, as in you can place a pendulum over someone's body in different areas and decide that clockwise indicates illness, whereas counterclockwise indicates health, and you just move it over their body, noting which areas it turns clockwise and which ones it turns counterclockwise. That one's pretty simple, but I personally wouldn't rely on something like that, of course, over medical help. Please do not rely on a pendulum for medical advice. You can use it for chakra work. You can place it over your various chakras to see if any of them are blocked. Again, a certain swing or turn of the pendulum would represent a yes or a no for blocked. That one's really popular. That one I definitely suggest trying. And again, you can use it for channeling. You can make a spirit board or a Ouija board type thing for your pendulum. If you are going to do that, please be so careful. Please set up all protections possible. Make sure your mind is clear of negativity. Cleanse your space. Cast a circle. Do any protection that you can, because you do not want to bring something dark into your home or somebody else's home, or just toward yourself. Make sure you establish that only spirit guides and angels and beings of light are welcome to assist you, that you do not wish to commune with anyone from the dark, anybody ever, and that they are not welcome near you, your family, your house, your pets, none of it. You want to establish that firmly. And even then, stuff can break through, so please just be careful. I personally don't suggest that. That's not something I do. I'm not a fan. But people do, and so if you're going to, please just do some more research on how to safely channel. If you're interested, I would be glad to maybe set or have a video where I answer some of your guys' questions, yes or no questions, using my board. Just leave the questions down below, and I'll pick a few and yeah, answer them for you. See where it goes, see what happens. I mean, don't ask any questions that you don't potentially want to know the answer to, though. Does that make sense? Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, because the pendulum's gonna say what it says, whether you like it or not, unfortunately. I wish I could give all good answers, but it doesn't work that way. Alright, I think that's actually it for this video. I will insert a clip at the end of me showing my board and describing better how I use it and what it does and how to properly hold your pendulum, because that's important. And my camera keeps moving. I'm so sorry. Something else needs to happen with this setup. All right. Be kind. Compliment yourself. Compliment somebody else. Have a great day. Bye. Okay, so here's a view of my pendulum board. As you can see, I have up and down as yes, and then horizontal no, and then I just have the diagonals at maybe, but you can put unsure in one as well. Yeah, so if you'd like to see how this is actually used, if you'd like to ask some yes or no questions and have me answer them, just leave them in the comment section down below and I'll pick some and do a pendulum board session on camera answering whatever it is you ask me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and bye-bye.